We're doing a new opening song today.
A new
good.
old song.
Yay.
An
good.
old new song.
An old new opening song, yeah.
Yeah.
Called Sweet, Sweet Spirit.
Oh,
Okay,
nice.
I'm going to mute everybody, including myself, maybe.
There's a sweet, sweet spirit in this place, and I know that it's the Spirit. There's a sweet, sweet spirit in this place, and I know that it's the Spirit of the Lord. There are sweet expressions on each face, and I know that it's the presence of the Lord. Sweet Holy Spirit, sweet heavenly dove, stay right here with us, filling us with your love. And for these blessings, we lift our hearts in praise. Without a doubt, we'll know that we have been revived when we shall leave this place.
Yes. Okay. Okay, so we'll start with a treatment. We take a breath in, and there is only one life. It is the wholeness and the unity of all beings. Its nature is peace and harmony, infinite wisdom, all power, and unconditional love. This one is the source of all, the divine giver of itself to all. We are made of this one, which it expresses itself uniquely as each of us. Each one, a divine idea, brought into form in order to express the love, peace, harmony that we are. And I speak my word for a greater reawakening of peace and harmony in the world. I embrace a vision of unity and peace in my own heart and in the hearts and homes of everyone. This peace cannot be diminished by any condition or discord or injustice that appears to surround us. I share my peace with others, free from judgment or expectation. I am the peace I want to see in the world. Let common sense prevail and calm heads unite in our government and the nation of the world, and to bring about good. I realize and claim there is calm, wisdom, compassion, kindness, and light flowing to and through our world leaders. I'll have to read that again. I realize I claim there is calm, wisdom, and compassion, and kindness, and light flowing through and to all our world leaders from the one source of the divine intelligence, Spirit itself. I focus my mind to know and express the truth that the power of the one source is healing, and dissolving this virus. And instead is spreading love, compassion, kindness, gratitude, and peace in its wake. And I declare that I and everyone hearing this radiates excellent health, vitality, strong immune systems, and positive energy. And I know we are all safe, and only good goes before us and makes our way clear. And I give thanks for the hearts and minds of all people being more receptive and responsive to harmony, unity, and the peace that dwells at the very center of life. And I'm grateful for the shift in consciousness that I know has taken place in me and in and through each of us as the one mind of which we are all connected. And I celebrate peace, equality, safety in the universe, our world, and in all creation. And I release my word into loving law, back to spirit, knowing it returns to us multiplied abundantly. And I let go and I let God. And so we say together, and so it is. We have our identity prayer. I know that within myself, there is a life which is perfect, complete, and divine. It was never born, and it cannot die, for it lives and is God. Within myself is wholeness, peace, poise, and the power of life. This life is health, it is abundance, it is love. There is one life, and it is the life of God, and this is my life now, and so it is. The meditation and the message today is from my minister in Asheville, Dr. John Waterhouse. And I wanted to keep the theme of this International Day of Peace, which was Monday, and I kind of wanted to spread it out a little more. So this is all about world peace. It's a little longer than we usually do the meditation, but the message is a little shorter, so it balances out. So get comfortable, and we go within.
So today we meditate on peace. And we'll begin. I invite you to sit comfortably in your chair. Close your eyes if that feels good. And become aware of your breath, as we always start with the breath. Feel the coolness of the air as it enters at the tip of your nose. You can feel it coming in. And notice how quickly your body warms that air as it moves down into your lungs. Feel your lungs expand as you inhale deeply. With every breath, you're bringing in energy, vitality, and life force that sustains your body. As you exhale, feel your body releasing toxins and stress and whatever else no longer serves you. Just keep your focus on your breath, in and out. Just be with your breath. Feel the energy that's moving through your body. Your blood recirculates through your entire body every minute, providing rich, life-sustaining nutrients to every cell. Be aware of that warmth and healthy vibration that's resonating with every cell. Every cell is receiving what it needs right now to do what it exists to do. That's supporting your experience of being alive and well on planet Earth. Now move your attention beyond your body, out into the environment around you. Feel that energy that surrounds you. Now expand that awareness all the way to the walls. And fill that space with your energy. Now go beyond those walls, out into the brightness of the day. Feel the grass and the plants and the trees. Be aware of the birds that are perched on those tree limbs, chirping away or flying through the air. Be aware of all the tiny ones that are crawling around in the soil, doing what they do. All of these plants and animals rely on the same air that you breathe. We are inseparable in our reliance on clean, fresh air. Now be aware of the aliveness of the ground beneath your feet. This planet on which we live is very alive. It's as alive as you are. The energies of life are active and flowing all around you, beneath your feet, in the air, everywhere, all the time. Now gather up all that energy. Just scoop it up in your mind, all around you, and bring it all together into a beautiful sphere of energy that is floating right in front of you. This powerful orb with all of this incredible energy shining brightly right before you. It's as bright as the sun. Now bring that shining, bright, brilliant orb of life force down into the ground. Down into the ground. Envision it going into the earth and being just beneath your feet. Imagine that the soles of your feet are sitting on that sphere of brightly glowing light. Feel this energy begin to enter through the soles of your feet, moving up into your body. See your feet begin to glow and vibrate as this bright, shining energy fills them. Feel this energy moving up into your ankles, up into your calves, then to your knees, And it continues up into your thighs, your hips, and your bottom. Every part of your body below your waist is tingling with delight as this energy continues to rise up into your abdomen and into your lower back. Feel it move up into your solar plexus and into your middle back. Feel it swirling around your spine as it continues to rise higher and higher. Feel it move into your chest, your lungs, your heart, your upper back, and out across your shoulders. Then down your arms to your elbows, your forearms, your hands, and on into each finger. Feel this energy envelop your neck, your jaw and your chin, your mouth, your nose, your eyes and ears, and your forehead. Your entire head and scalp are enveloped into this radiant energy. Your entire body is filled with this divine, healing, brilliant, beautiful energy as it shines forth from you. Allow this beautiful energy to saturate every area of your body. Let your body benefit from its healing essence. Your body is saturated with this radiant divine energy of health and wholeness. Allow this sacred light to reveal the presence of peace that dwells within you. That presence has always been there. And now you feel it. You know it. It's calming and relaxing and healing your heart and your mind. This light is here to serve you in whatever way is best for you. Let the light do its work. It's calling you to remember your oneness with all life, with all people. And as you bask in the brilliance of this beautiful light, bring to mind an intention or desire you have. Allow yourself to see that intention fully created within yourself or within the world. Hold this intention or desire as still as you can. Let it take root in your consciousness. Allow the healing energy within you to bring this thing that you see into full form. Make it real. See the thing happening before your eyes perfectly, wonderfully. Let it be as though you can reach out and touch it. This is the better world emerging from the peace that dwells within you. Be aware of divine presence and know that all is one. Embrace this state of absolute tranquility and peace. You are peace. Peace is your natural state. Be aware of how deeply relaxed you are within this peaceful state of being. From this place, you are completely aware of your divine nature. The presence of the divine dwells entirely at the point of view. Within this complete and absolute state of relaxation, be aware of how calm and how centered you are in this moment. Your heart beats in total alignment with your breathing, steady and clear. Your breathing continues to deepen. Stay with this deep, relaxing, peaceful state of bliss for just a few moments here. Enjoy the quietness and the serenity that surrounds you. You are peace. And when you know it's time to leave this place, let yourself begin to return. But before you go, pause for just a moment and remember that this is your place. This is your beautiful inner place where you are always safe and where peace abides. This is your inner sanctuary. Come back to it whenever you'd like. Use this place to remind yourself of the peace that you are. And when you're ready, bring your attention back to your breath. Be aware of breathing in and breathing out. And when it's time, gently move just a finger or a toe, just a little movement. And then a hand or a foot. When you're ready, bring your hands together in prayer position. Allow your fingertips to touch. And when you're ready, open your eyes to the peaceful, beautiful world of your making. Feel the goodness within you and all around you. Accept all the awesome goodness of your life in gratitude and love. Life is good. Life is God. And so it is. Namaste.
Namaste, everybody. I love that. It kind of brings you back. And I know when I do any kind of energy work, I picture, like he was talking about the energy coming up from the earth, I picture like a rota going through my whole body and just clearing everything out all the way to the top of your head. And it's just, that works for me. And if you want to visit this again, I'll send out the link. It's on a YouTube, but I think it's a nice, brings you back to the peace. So
I
If you
feel like
haven't
putting
picked up on
a
it yet, my
Wait,
topic
wait.
today is
putting a period on it by singing.
Yeah, I
Without
go through it.
a doubt, we'll know that we have been revived when we leave this place.
Thank you. Thank
Our
you.
new opening song.
Okay, this is John Waterhouse on peace.
This is the fellow that you worked with in getting your practitioner's license.
Yeah.
If you haven't picked up on it yet, my topic today is peace. Usually the title slide will give it away. And the thing that motivated me to do this is that today, or actually tomorrow, or I should say September 21st, because who knows when people are watching this recording, September 21st is International Day of Peace, according to the United Nations. And that was organized in 2001, so that was 10 days after the attacks on this country at 9/11. So today, or we're celebrating or about to celebrate an observance of peace. So I thought it'd be a good time to talk about peace. There was a bunch of clatter on Facebook, according to my wife anyway, of the possibility of some violent protests in Asheville last night. But I haven't heard anything about it, so apparently it didn't happen. Now that never happened on Facebook before, that what they said was going to happen didn't. So that's a first. Peace is not something foreign to us as a spiritual movement. Every Sunday we sing a song at the end that says, "Yes, there is peace on earth." The song is actually written to say, "Let there be peace on earth." But I changed it because I couldn't figure out who I was supposed to ask for peace. So we say, yes, we affirm it. Yes, there is peace on earth, and it has begun with me. And we are not the only spiritual community that holds peace in that level of reverence. It's actually very common. If you come from a Catholic background, you've heard the speak and response of "May peace be with you," and the response being "and with you." So that's very common there. But in other faiths as well, there are words. There are words from the Muslim teachings, "Assalamu alaikum," which means peace is upon you. Very common. Buddhists say, "May you find peace and happiness along the middle path." And in Hebrew, the word shalom means peace. It also means harmony, wholeness, completeness, prosperity, welfare, and tranquility, and can be used idiomatically as hello or goodbye. Very versatile word. I don't think we have any words in English that are quite so versatile, but that's their word for peace. Peace is a fundamental metaphysical principle, but we don't pray for peace. We pray peace. Here's the difference. When you're praying for something, you're implying that it doesn't already exist, that it isn't already there. And it applies to everything that we do. We really don't pray for health. We don't pray for abundance. It's already there. And the same is true of peace. Peace is a already present, absolute quality or attribute of the presence of God. So it's not like we have to make it. We're not trying to create peace. Peace is already here. Now, some would argue that that's not necessarily so because of all of the things that look to the contrary in the world. For example, I've made a list of critical hotspots in the world. In Mexico, drug cartels continue their rampant killing sprees. Political instability continues in Venezuela. The U.S. military is still in Iraq and Afghanistan. Although the troop numbers are coming down, they're still there. Russia still threatens Ukraine's sovereignty. North Korea remains an imminent threat in the entire North Pacific Rim. And many U.S. cities are in a state of violent protests on an ongoing basis in this country. Even Asheville, even though something didn't seem to happen last night, back in June, there were violent protests in Asheville. So with all that going on, what is this Pray Peace doing? Well, I have some fascinating information to share with you. You may have heard me talk about this before because I've been kind of into this for a while. What I want to tell you about is a Harvard professor named Pinker. His name is Steven Pinker. That's what he looks like. He's a cognitive psychology professor at Harvard, and he's done some amazing research in the world. If you haven't heard this, you're going to be probably surprised. His research reveals that dramatic reductions in war deaths, family violence, racism, rape, murder, and all such forms of human-on-human violence are diminishing and have been progressively diminishing all the time. That his research goes back centuries. So he's and one thing that human beings apparently have been really good at is counting the number of dead people in war. I don't know why that seemed to do it, but this is what Pinker has said about the research that he's found. The decline of violence may be the most significant and least appreciated development in the history of our species. This runs contrary to what we see in our world, in our culture. What we see in our culture is that all this violence, that is the things that I shared with you, and anything that happens to happen today will be on the news. It will be spread around on the internet and everywhere else you can look to see all this violence. And the reason is that peace doesn't sell. It's not interesting enough for them to, peace broke out. It's not going to happen. They're never going to talk about that. They're going to talk about the times that it doesn't. But the truth is that there's way more peace going on than there is violence. Way more peace. More people live peaceful lives than those that live violent lives. But you're always going to hear, if you're going to go to those sources, you're always going to hear about the things that aren't working, the things where there is violence in the world. The thing about the difference between peace and violence is that peace is a constant. It's always a choice. Now, you could say violence is a choice, but not really. I mean, people don't generally choose to be violent. Of course, when they do and when they gather together and they're violent together, there are always news media outlets with their cameras present to tell you all about it. But when there is violence in the world, it doesn't stay. It comes, it's violent, people fight, people disagree, there's all of this rage going on, and then it dissipates, and it returns to a peaceful state. Even in nature, you can see that there are hurricanes and earthquakes and fires, and you could say that these things are violent, and then they diminish, they go away. Of course, they leave a track of destruction, it's true. So do the people that are violent. But the violence itself comes and goes. One could argue that the big violence on the planet right now comes from a virus. And when you're looking about, in this country, 200,000 people having died, yeah, that's something you can say, that's a violent thing. And it leaves in its wake all of this heartbreak. But it comes and it goes. But the truth about peace is that peace is a constant. It is always available. It is always a choice. And most people choose it. And most of life lives from that place of peace. So it's important to understand this so that we don't get bogged down with this idea that we live in a violent world. There is violence in the world, but we live in a peaceful world where violence breaks out. And that's the distinction, which gives us the edge in the work that we do, in this idea of moving forward with a peaceful sense of things and not to get caught up in the dramatic idea that none of us are safe and that we can't live in the world safely. I mean, even with this devastating virus, I mean, look at all the good that is happening in lives of people coming together and supporting one another and being resources for one another, for us to be able to be here. And I have every thought that every one of you in this room does not have that virus. I know we got a couple over here that did, but their bodies killed it. And they're healthy and whole, and it's not an issue. So this thing of violence is always a temporary state. But the truth is that peace remains. Here's an example of one of our great teachers saying to us, talking about peace. Nothing can bring you peace but yourself. And that's where I want to go now. Nothing can bring you peace but the triumph of principles. This is why we pray peace. Because our work is not to pray for peace in the world beyond ourselves. Ours is to know peace within ourselves. And with that, as we shine our light into the world, we emanate peace beyond us. It is not our job to find where there is a failure of recognizing peace in the world and try to infuse peace into it. The peace is already there. It's our job to know peace at the point of us. And when we know peace at the point of us, as Emerson says, we bring peace to the world. We bring peace by being peace. That is the only way it works. I think it was Mother Teresa that said never to ask her to come to a anti-war rally. But if you're having a peace experience, invite her, she'll be there. She's all about being that peace and shining her light of peace into the world. And if Mother Teresa, or as she's now known, St. Teresa of Calcutta, if she can do that, she's telling us we all can do it, that we can all live from that peaceful place. But it takes some work because we have been conditioned to be in a world where all this bad stuff is happening and we take it out of context and we think that that's the world because it's dramatic and it's loud and it's scary. And so we think that's how life works, but the truth is not that. The truth is what Pinker has found out, is that we live in a peaceful world. And that when we remember that and live from that, then we get the benefit of it. So this is what Emerson teaches, and this is what our founder teaches. So we want peace on earth? Then let us pray knowing peace in our own hearts. Let us affirm peace in our own minds. Let us live as though peace were the mandate of God, because it is. Together, let us affirm it, and let us encourage others to, no matter what the opposition appears to be, for peace is a fundamental reality of God. Peace is always here. Never feel like peace is absent in your life. It's impossible. Peace is always there. You, by simply being a person, a spirit being on planet Earth, must have peace in your life. You have to realize that, because there's a lot of things you have that you don't realize and don't recognize and don't utilize in your life. So it really still takes your recognition for that to work, and mine. So that when we get angry, when we certainly start to think that life's working against us, it's important for us to remember that it's not, that life is working for us. Even in the midst of a pandemic, even following a stroke, even having whatever happens in your life, peace is still the fundamental basic tenet of our life. And when we hear about others not being that way, our best thing to do is leave it with them. Let them work it out. And hold to this knowing within us that peace abides, and that peace is the truth of our being. And from that place, we can have it exactly the way we want it. Because living in a violent situation, being aware of violence, relating to violence, reacting to violence, is all secondary causation. It's all of us buying into something that is the illusion and perpetuating in our lives. So what I bring you today is this idea of moving beyond that and realizing that peace is an inside game of understanding. And when we get there, we have the benefit of it. So we pray peace. Holmes has some other words that I didn't put up on the board, but I want to share them with you nonetheless. When you become confused, stop and listen to your inner calm. Turn from the confusion to that deeper something within and say to yourself, I am submerged in peace. I am surrounded by peace. I am immersed in peace. There is nothing but peace. Peace, deep, calm, sustained peace. That should work. Our job is to remember. Our job is to live from the truth of us, to be who we've come to be and to do what we've come to do. So I have some quotes, which I like to do. It took me a while to find these guys, but I like what I found. Let me share them with you. Dr. Martin Luther King. I refuse to accept the view that mankind is so tragically bound to the starless midnight of racism and war that the bright daybreak of peace and brotherhood can never become a reality. I believe that unarmed truth and unconditional love will have the final word. That's prophetic. Ronald Reagan said, peace is not the absence of conflict. It is the ability to handle conflict by peaceful means. Now, that's a big picture point of view. But the truth is that there will be people that will come into your life and my life that are in conflict. But our job isn't to go into conflict with them. Our job is to know who we are, to be in that state of peace, which is our natural state, and to provide whatever support or action is required to support the one that's in our space, but not to fall into the conflict with them. So there's a real truth in what Reagan said with that. And then finally, our own Louise Hay said, no person, no place, and no thing has any power over us, for we are the only thinkers in our mind. I love that. We are the only thinkers in our mind. When we create an awareness of peace in our minds, we will find it in our lives. And that's the truth. Because we are the only thinkers in our lives. And when we think peace, we will experience peace. It's only hidden from us by our own limiting thoughts. And it's revealed again to us again and again and again by our acknowledgement that it's true. And what a great place to be. It doesn't matter the conditions that exist. It doesn't matter what's going on. Peace is always our option. It is always present. All we have to do is embrace and embody it. And then the peace that we seek is ours. I love you very much. Thank you.
Okay.
No more fighting, hearts uniting, all one people, all one dream. Hate is dying, love is rising on a world awakening. Children of one God, one planet, let the earth and heaven sing. Join the angels, joyous strains, all for a world awakening. For a world awakening. For a world awakening. One day all the world is watching. Time weaves us a common theme. Peace our anthem, all are welcome to a world awakening. To a world awakening. To a world awakening. New ideas and new beginnings. That's what each tomorrow brings. Freely giving, we are living in a world awakening. In a world awakening. In a world awakening. In a world awakening. Hate is dying, love is rising on a world awakening.
Nice. Perfect song, Jane. Good job.
Everybody, you'll have to unmute yourself to speak, of course.
Yeah, I just go
I
ahead.
thought I love that reference to Dr. Pinker, who was essentially saying that over time the violence has been decreasing, and this is something that I have mentioned many times in the past, that I've used that to illustrate that partly to illustrate that all things are blessings. But this, we get focused on all of the negative things that are going on in the moment. But if you look back in time, you can really see that, mankind has been evolving and progressing over time. There's real differences, even in just, in the last 2,000 years. You compare the society that we have now compared to the society that we had back then, it was much more violent. A lot of more people dying in conflicts than there is now. There's a much greater in mentality of mankind being all one. And you look at just as Dr. Waterhouse was saying, if you look at what's going on right now, you think, oh, there's this going on, oh, there's this going on. But if you kind of take that into the perspective of the history that we have, it's clear there's this progress. Yes, there's times that are worse and times that are better. It goes in cyclic. It cycles back and forth a little bit, but on average, the trend has been spiritual growth of mankind in general.
I remember reading a long time ago. I don't know exactly what the time frame was, but it was the skulls that they dug up, like 4,000 or 5,000 years ago. Almost all of them had, fractures, skull that had been, hit over the head with, or something.
Head injuries,
and they've been, healed, and so they knew they didn't die from these things. Just all these things, and so it indicated to me that that was a lot more violent than it is now.
And isn't even the coronavirus or the virus, that goes back in history too, and they can actually see when that is coming again. The Black Plague and all this stuff. They kind of science.
The Black Plague was a infection. It was a bacterial infection, not a
as
virus.
Opposed to a virus, yeah.
Right.
But there's always been something that comes up that really makes it detrimental to the society and and people as a whole.
And that's in cycles also. So,
yes.
Yeah.
And oftentimes, things like that have a man-made cause too, and we realize that and we adapt to that. The
plague.
the plague was due to poor living conditions.
And all those Catholics killing cats because cats weren't in the Bible, so they must be evil.
Yeah.
Right.
Except for what was it, York?
York, they honored the cats. They realized the cats were helping them.
Oh.
And so in York, there's a common thing is to have these little silhouettes or statues of cats, climbing up buildings and, just all over the place.
Building, walking across the top of the building and
the
stuff.
parapet and so forth. So they really, honored the cats in York, and they fared better because there weren't as many rodents.
Well, I liked his message because with so much going on, you get caught up in all the negativity around us. And it's so nice to come back to that peace.
Yeah.
That's within, and to know that our world isn't as crazy and out of control as we think it is from, illusions that are coming up.
Well, and when you react to that stuff, your outcome is not as good as if you stay centered and peaceful.
Yeah.
When you stay centered, when you stay peaceful in mind, and you look at what's going on and you say, okay, well, I don't like that, but there's not really much I can do about it. So, or, maybe I can help this by, writing a letter or whatever it is that I do, as opposed to getting all upset about it and reacting to it. A lot of what I'm seeing in the news is people that are reacting very poorly. And the reason they're doing that is because they're not staying
Yeah.
staying in their own personal peace. They're allowing the outside circumstances to get them all upset, and then they behave in ways that are fight, flight, or
Freeze.
fight, flight, or freeze. You know, when you get out of your inner peacefulness, then you begin to react, and it's fight, flight, or freeze. And you see a lot of that in the news. You know, the people that are, you know, the woman that sent uh, poison to President Trump. It's like, why? She's a Canadian.
But
Well,
it's,
I think one thing we must remember is that there are some people who thrive on upheaval.
Oh yeah.
They have to have upheaval before they can get to a peaceful state.
yeah.
Well, I'm not sure I would agree that they have to have upheaval before they can get to a peaceful state. Their need for upheaval is indicative of their own unpeaceful state.
Yeah.
Exactly. But they feel that in order to get to that peace, they have to have some kind of chaotic experience.
I think it's for them to feel like they're alive.
Yeah.
It's not like
A lot of people
on
live
adrenaline.
on, yeah, a lot of people live on drama. You know, the
Yeah.
people
Yeah,
Exactly.
around.
Yeah.
I feel like they have to have in their life.
But the drama is not a way for them to get to their peace.
Yeah.
It's a way
They
to
don't know that yet.
it's a way for them to distract themselves from the fact that they have gotten away from their peace. That, you know, they feel inner turmoil, and so they feel like they have to create the turmoil outside of themselves as well to match the turmoil within.
Yeah. And I don't want to claim that it's hard to get to the peace. I don't want to claim that. But what I know is that it's a constant. You have to constantly know what you're saying and what you're feeling, and try and get yourself back to that peace of, you know, place of peace. And that's a 24/7 deal, you know. It's, you want to get to this peace, you have the tools to do that, you know. But
It
you
comes
have to have,
easier.
yeah,
It
it does
becomes-
get easier. It does get easier, but it's an awareness that you have within you what you need to get to that peace, and you have to use it. You don't use it, you'll lose it. So
Well, yeah, it's habits, but
Yeah.
this is one of the things that Bob Proctor teaches is, you know, you got these five senses, that you have all this information coming in from your five senses, but that's all outside of yourself.
right.
You know, you in some cases you don't have any control over that. What you do have control over is what's going on the inside. That was what what was his name? Viktor Frankl.
Mhm.
You know, that was kind of what he was all about, was when he was in the concentration camp and they're doing all kinds of horrible things to his body. And he, you know, he realized that, you know, they can do whatever they want to me physically, but they cannot control my mind. I am the only one that can control my mind. I am the only one that decides what I'm going to think. And he noticed that the prisoners who allowed what was going on to control what was in their mind, those were the ones that didn't survive.
Mm. Yeah. Yeah. So, yeah. So it's good that we have these tools. We just have to see which ones work for us
Yeah.
and use them, you know. But I thought it's a good way to get back. It's, you know, it's a good timing and everything.
Mhm.
It's like
Another-
the people
another-
that live in the chaos, you know, like John was saying, you try not to go into their chaos with them. And they come to you because they feel you are safe and peaceful and they want that peace. So it's our job, I would say, to be that peace for them and
Yeah.
not try to fix the outside stuff.
When there's peace in the heart, there'll be peace in the family. And when there's peace in the family, there'll be peace in the community. And when there's peace in the community, there will be peace in the world.
That's right. That's right.
Another one of my mentors, Raymond Aaron, talks about this concept of being at cause or at effect.
Yeah.
So the concept of allowing all of this information that's coming to us through our five senses
Yeah.
to define what it is that we do, that's being at effect. And essentially what you're saying is that you don't have any control over yourself.
Mm-hmm.
You have delegated responsibility for yourself to something outside of yourself. Being at cause is basically saying, I'm going to ignore that stuff. And, that's all, it's all information, but that does not define what I do or think. And instead, I decide, I do the thinking, I do the deciding of what's appropriate for me. I stay within my peace.
Yeah.
And when I'm doing that, then I'm being at cause. I'm being the one that is creating the reality around me instead of allowing what's around me to create itself.
Right. And it's a way of living. It's
Yeah.
a
Oh,
way
yeah.
of living. Yeah.
Paul, I understand exactly what you're saying. I get it. And sometimes though, I'm careful about using the word ignoring, to ignore the appearances, the outer appearances and so forth. But rather to think of it in terms of seeing that and either rising above it or transforming it, transforming the appearances, which is exactly what you said. When you are at peace yourself, then you can transform that. But sometimes I think we tend to want to just hide our head in the sands and say the appearances are not even out there. Oh, I can't look at that, and but rather the real heroes in our world are the ones who can hold that peace, like Mother Teresa did, or like Nelson Mandela learned to do, to hold that peace within themselves no matter the circumstance. Then they're able to go in like Daniel into the lion's den and help to be that light, that peace that can be right in the center of what is, apparent conflict, and help to calm that situation and transform it. So
yeah, I agree.
I learned a lot about that when I worked on the campaign, Barack Obama's first campaign. I was on the rapid response team. I don't know why I put myself through that, but well, it was our jobs to alert the campaign to all of the negative stuff that we saw coming at him, in case they didn't know about it. That's what rapid response means, so that if they can learn about it soon, they can maybe counteract it or nip it in the bud before it takes hold. And so I actually, in that position, I had to invite people to send me all of the horrible emails and stuff they got, about Obama, and pass that on to the campaign. And so I often referred to that as being like Daniel going into the lion's den. And it was a real test and a practice. It was I asked myself a lot, why are you doing this? Why are you intentionally, focusing and calling on all this negative stuff? And I came to realize that I was a practice. It was a practice. I would get so angry and I'd start to type something out, and then I go, no, stop. I'd get up from the computer and I'd turn around 3 times and I'd say, no, peace is my world. Peace is my world. But yet I'd still work with it and, send that on and say, what can I do to, to help this? I still think that I took about 10 years off of my life, but
Well, you don't have to think that, when
yeah, I guess so.
when I use the word ignore, maybe that was an unfortunate choice of words, because it's kind of like, what I teach about forgiving. Forgiving is not forgetting. Forgiving is not ignoring what happened. It's not it's not trying to deny what happened. You fully, in true forgiveness, you fully remember, you fully recognize what happened. The only difference is that you're not reacting to it. You're not having the negative emotion to it. So, when I said ignore, what I meant was that you're simply, yes, it's there, but that doesn't mean I have to react to that. I can decide to just, let it go, or I can, know about it and decide to do something else. It's definitely not a head in the sand kind of ignore.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
And thank you for that reminder that I don't have to believe that it took 10 years off of my life.
Yeah,
But you're gonna live to 150, so 140.
I don't know. Was Methuselah lived to
900.
900?
Yeah. All right. Anybody else have anything to add?
I just read and watched a little video, speaking of living long, about the man who still holds the record for being the oldest living World War II vet, although he is not anymore because he died in 2018, but he died at the age of 112.
Wow.
And he was active, and he drove up until the time he was, I can't remember, 100 and something or other, and he still could walk. He was in a wheelchair most of the time, and you look at him and he looked like he was like 75. It was just bizarre. And he smoked cigars and drank whiskey.
That's what kept him alive.
Yeah.
So he enjoyed life.
That finally killed him, Gene.
The American Aborigines, what we commonly call Indians, even though they're not Indian, they use the tobacco to ward off malaria. I mean, it was a medicine. It wasn't a habitual thing to use. It was a medicine.
Yeah.
So,
Well, I will say
that did preserve their life to use the tobacco product. And
he did say that he didn't inhale, but you're right, Sylvia. Maybe he would have lived to been 200 if he hadn't.
Exactly.
I guess I was using that as a matter of attitude. It's attitude that's what's important.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. You don't inhale cigars, but even though you're not inhaling it when you're puffing on the cigar, you're still inhaling that smoke that's in the
Right.
air.
Yeah.
You got to breathe.
Yeah.
Oh. Okay, so I don't really have any news. We're still working on phase 1 of getting into CSL, and that's a work in progress. We're getting there. And I got nothing else.
I think our name request comes, is it the second Monday of the month?
I'm not sure. I thought it was a Tuesday that
Or is it a
phase one
Tuesday?
is meeting. The first, I don't know, I gotta look it up.
Is it the first Tuesday? If it's the first Tuesday, that means it's basically a week from now, because um, October 1st is what, Wednesday or Thursday?
Thursday.
Oh, but we have to get that business thing in.
Yeah, the business plan needs.
Well, working on a business plan. We have to have a business plan for 3 to 5 years. So,
You know,
yeah, thank you.
How do you write that for Kathy, for a organization like SOM? How do you write a business plan?
we
Oh.
had kind of a template to go from,
Yeah.
Oh,
and
okay.
you know, a lot of it was some of it was having your vision and your mission, and some of it was, okay, who the heck's going to run this thing,
Yeah.
and you know, what are their qualifications, and you know, how are you going to do your finances, which
Yeah.
is, you know, pretty well cut and dried. I mean, we've been operating for more than a year, so our finances are fairly well defined already. It's not like we're starting from scratch. You know, and things like that.
Yeah.
It's,
And they have the people there in headquarters will help you with any questions that you have. So we're
Yeah.
trying not to make it a big deal and
Yeah.
just keep it simple, you know.
Uh-huh.
and
So
the person in CSL headquarters that is responsible for that, you know, if you have questions, you can ask her. So, you know, what we'll end up doing is we, being me and the mouse in my pocket, because it's up to me to finish it off. Kathy and I worked on it to begin with to get, you know, her vision and mission and that kind of stuff, and the rest of it I'll fill in. But you know, we'll submit it to her and say, hey, does this look good? And she'll say, yeah, that looks great. Or she'll say, you know, no, you need to fix this, or you need to fix that, and we'll fix it. And, you know.
and if anybody
I want to acknowledge and thank both of you, Kathy and Paul, for all of the wonderful and intensive work you've been doing on this for us.
I agree, Jane. I second that.
Ann also has been helping immensely, and she's now going to
Thank
take
you,
over the
Ann.
financial end, which I'm so thankful for. I'm not a computer person, so I've been doing everything by hand. So it'll make my life a lot easier. So that's good. But I wanted to open it up to if anybody else wants to add to our vision. You know, if they have any ideas that, I mean, we're open to everybody. This is your group also. So I just have a vision of growing. Eventually, I have a vision in my head of having a center and a minister and a large community and being able to go out into the area and just spread science and mind. And I'd like to get into younger people, into UVA. I would like to have a presence there. And I just,
Jane, how old were you when you were introduced to the New Thought?
About 24.
yeah.
So
Yeah.
college age? Which
Yeah, I had just, well, when I went to college, actually, I spent that time throwing everything I'd learned out.
A lot of kids do religious life.
Yeah.
But, you know, the second part of college is a good time to catch people who have done that then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that, and you know, we live in a college town, so
Absolutely.
granted that those people wouldn't necessarily be long-term members, but you know, maybe that needs to be our calling, is to introduce the New Thought concept to some of the college students, the ones that are receptive to it anyway.
Well, I
and,
don't
you know,
know
look at the-
exactly what all the process is of getting involved in having a presence. I know that Don Lansky actually worked on that to try to get, you know, a big presence. for unity in there at UVA, and I don't think he was as successful as he wanted to be, but who knows?
Yeah.
But I wasn't in on the logistics.
Well, there are some things that we'll have to learn for ourselves, but just because the university is not very cooperative doesn't mean that we cannot get ourselves in front of those people. And, Jane, look at yourself. How has New Thought affected your life? We just had that conversation last night. How has New Thought affected your life since you were 24?
I'm grateful for
You
it.
know,
Oh, yeah.
I mean, if I had, it's hard to say is something a good thing or not, but if I had been introduced to this when I was 24,
Yeah. Yeah.
because when I was 24, I was, atheist, agnostic to the point of atheist. And this would have given me a better framework to understand and grow my own spirituality.
And kids that age are searching. They're searching for something,
Yeah.
something to hold on to, some kind of peace with all this going on. So it really is a target audience for us. So it's a little challenging now with the coronavirus, but maybe we could find out how to get in, and then when this virus is over, then we'll be in.
Yeah, they do have something, but I can't remember exactly or tell you exactly what it is.
Yeah. Well, once we get finished with this headquarters thing, then we can work on something like that.
Yeah.
I suggest, Kathy, that you submit out an email and maybe 2 or 3 until you really get a good response from folks asking others what their vision might be and what they would hope to see, how they would hope to see us evolve.
Yeah.
And just ask them to submit that by email, and then we can look at that,
Okay.
and help to use everybody's ideas.
We can integrate different ideas from different people into it. Yeah.
Okay, that's a great idea, Jane. Thank you. I will do that.
And also, Paul, I know that you know this because I know this is a big thing with Bob Proctor about vision and mission. And maybe we can talk to them, set it up as here's what a mission is and here's what a vision is. So when you ask for that, or you might just want to just keep it real loose and ask them just what they would like to see, where they'd like to see us go.
Yeah.
I've unmuted myself so I can tell everybody.
Hi, Betty.
I enjoyed all of you. I never did get all of you full screen like I usually do. But anyway, you were there, and thank you very much. And you all have a wonderful week.
You too.
Thank you.
You too.
Okay.
Right.
All right.
Betty.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye. Okay. So that's a great idea. I'm going to do that. I'll send out an email and see if we get any response.
That means I need to put together that membership list.
Oh, you want me to send it?
Well,
Yeah, send it to everybody.
you can send it out yourself if you want, but something that I had mentioned to Kathy was we have a list that is like 100 or so people, most of whom are not really committed to the group, and then we have kind of a core group of people that we consider to be kind of committed members. We don't really have a distinction between members and non-members, but there are a core group of people that have really participated in the group, and they've shown their membership by participating. And I need to create a email list just for those people, and as opposed to this kind of announce to everybody list. And because there's times when you want to make communications, to the people that are really committed, and then there's announcements that you make kind of to the bigger people. So that's something I need to do. I've been looking at using a autoresponder called MailerLite that I use, that you can set up a automated. So if we have somebody that visits the group or something like that, then you put them in that automated thing, and it might send out 6 or 8 emails that we would tell them what we're about, tell them what our one email would be to thank them for coming, and the next one would be to tell them this is what Science of Mind is about, and the next one would be this is what our vision and mission is, and so forth. Kind of you do the multi-touch, and that's what invites people in.
So do you think I should send out this asking the vision to the group now, the announced group, or just to the people that are?
I think that's probably just the what we
Active?
are calling the membership group.
Active members.
Yeah.
What do you think?
You could send it to the whole group, but the ones that aren't active members aren't going to respond.
Yeah, they won't respond anyway.
Right.
So it won't matter.
Might
I'll
get
need-
something.
I'll need a list of members too. That's what
Yeah.
I do the QuickBooks.
Yeah.
Okay.
When you say active, I mean, you say there's like, how many people do we have on the list altogether?
We have over 100 and something on the list.
Yeah, the announced list is.
And we have a lot of people on Meetup, but they don't show up.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of
We
people.
have, I think we have 98 people on the meetup, and that's independent of the people on the announced list.
Right.
I mean, there is some overlap there, but it's effectively a different group. But we have 98 people on Meetup, but
Yeah, I don't think we don't need to send it out to all of them. But
Right.
you know what? I would include people maybe who were active when we were meeting in person, who would
Oh, yeah.
come every once in a while, but aren't coming to the Zoom meetings so much.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I did. And yeah, I think we're gonna look, once we get a tax number, we can look at advertising in the Echo. And because we have our tax thing, it might not cost anything. So that's another way of getting out there. But right now, I think we've got to focus on everything we have to do for the CSL before we branch out. You know?
Sure.
Yeah.
So,
We have 107 members in the announced email list. So every week when Kathy sends out this thing, she sends an email to an address that goes to the website. Well, it goes to the Google group email list. It goes to the website. It goes to Meetup, and it gets cross-posted to the Facebook group and the I think it's just the Facebook group that it gets cross-posted to. I could cross-post it to Twitter and LinkedIn
and that's pretty good. I mean, we're reaching like almost 200 people, and we're only here 2 years.
Yeah. So we're not getting a response from some of those people, but it may just not be time for them yet. For the Meetup group, it's people at least have expressed an interest in it.
Yeah. And I like the idea of sending out, after we do this CSL thing, going back to the basics and sending out something like, what is Science of Mind, and starting there on something to send out.
Yeah.
I like that idea.
That's why I say, with the that it's called a drip campaign, where it's automated. It sends them an email every so, and you have this list, pre-composed list of emails that it sends out, and you space it out to be, once a week or whatever
Okay.
you decide.
Okay.
Oh, okay. When you dropped out, it went to the
Yeah.
not Brady Bunch mode because I have the screen shared.
Okay. So, are we doing the closing prayer or the blessed always? Which are we doing first? Closing prayer?
Closing prayer and then the song.
Okay.
I want to say I've been silent because I'm working on something here. I appreciate where you guys are going. This is Bob.
Hi, Bob.
Yeah. And I'm listening. Thank you.
I know, I'm listening too. Thank you, everybody. This was a
Good.
really good topic of peace. Thank you. Thank
Yeah.
you.
Glad you joined us today, Donna.
Yeah, I'm real reluctant to do Zoom because it's just not the same, but I really, it was very good. Thank you.
Yeah, well, come
It's
again.
not-
Come again.
Thank you. Thanks.
It's not the same, but it's better than nothing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And it was a good message too. I need to hear it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I love that meditation too, by the way. I'm going to keep that.
I might send that out because I think that's an important one, that people.
Yeah, good.
have. Yeah.
I am
And we're doing the
recording-
peace song today, not blessed always.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
I am recording this Zoom session, and I've gotten behind on posting the programs to the website, but I will get this posted at some point
Yeah.
with the recording to the website.
Yeah, Donna, you should check it out. Do we have the recording from Michael from last week? Is that up yet?
We have the recording, but it's not posted to
Okay.
the website yet.
All right. Well, we'll let you know because you'll like that. That would be a good one too for you.
Thank you. Thanks a
That
lot.
was on mindfulness.
Yeah. Yeah. Bringing the peace. So as we go about our week, we reconnect with the inner peace that's always inside of us. And we are that peace that we want to see in the world. And we go out and we spread this peace to each and every person, every situation that we come in contact with. And we rest in this knowing and this faith that all is well and all is in divine order. And we are always safe. And we are the only thinkers in our lives. We are the only thinkers in our lives, and we have control over our lives. So namaste and blessing everybody. Thank you for joining us, and go vote. Early voting is opened. You voted already.
Yep,
So,
we voted
did.
already.
yeah, cool. So that's cool. Okay.
Peace within with me. Let this faith on now.
future peace of our world, all the kids. Gets me choked up. Okay, thank you very much, everybody. Enjoy your week. Remember, you are the only thinkers in your mind.
And thank you, Donna, for your comment.
Yeah.
I love your voice. I do. I think you have such a good voice. Beautiful.
Well, we appreciate her, that's for sure.
Thanks, everybody. See you next time.
Yep.
Bye-bye.
Next week.
Bye,
Bye.
you too.
Okay, let's see.